Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. What's up, y'all? Let's get into it. I'm ready to go whenever you are. Like that remix I had to do, because I'm telling you, YouTube hates so much on my music. They be like, copyright, we're not playing this, blah, 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 blah. So I kicked my own remix. So I said, boom, boom. Boom, 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 ghetto, ghetto. Can you believe Betty White was singing out with Eazy-E, like NWA? Like, there's Dr. Dre, whole crew in the background. Like, Betty White was down with the people, as I recall. Let's get into this news, y'all. Let's see what I got here. Missing U.S. Navy SEALs in the Arabian Sea presumed dead. That's sad. DeSantis dropped out of the race and endorses Trump in a taped message. Wonder if he'll think about being his vice president. Travis Kelce throws up hand heart to girlfriend Taylor Swift as the Chiefs get a touchdown. Heartbreaking tribute pouring in after Army soldier and influencer Michelle Young dies by suicide. This days after her young daughter's birthday. That's sad. Crazy. Four Oklahoma State fraternity members arrested for allegedly leaving dead Longhorn outside rival frat house. Woman facing murder charge after police say they found her son's body hidden behind a false wall. Alright. That's some depressing news there. Let's get into our other news. I saved some stuff this time. This is just so tricky with this here. Let me do this for you kiddies here. Saved a lot of stuff. Hold on, let me go over to my likes. Okay, so dozens of Chicago suburban families are being investigated for giving up custody of their kids so they won't have to pay for their college tuition and fees.
Now in North Suburban Lake County, 46 questionable cases in which parents gave up their parental rights just before their children turned 18 to someone else.
And a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or a friend or a cousin. The parents are lawyers, doctors, teachers. There's one who is a suburban assistant superintendent. So, and their homes are worth, $500,000, $1 million. But after the kid turns 18, because they previously had a guardian, they're able to legally declare themselves financially independent for the purposes of filling out their FAFSA forms for federal financial student aid.
That one court filing allows the student access to thousands of dollars in federal and state grant money they normally would never qualify for, potentially leaving lower income students out in the cold. The admissions director for the University of Illinois went so far as to call this a scam. Now in North Suburban Lake County.
So just imagine if they are just investigating Chicago. Just imagine who else is getting away with it. And one thing about rich people, they always figure out how to get over. They gonna cut some corners. So Sexy Red had her baby shower this weekend. That is her baby daddy with his face in her booty. Okay. So, two teens invited Joe Biden to their house for dinner, and he actually came. Secret Service is pulling up to his house. Biden's like, this is a regular refrigerator. And they're actually eating chicken. And that's them leaving. I remember writing the president when I was little, and he never rode up to my house. But I'm just saying, break me off some money or something, Joe. This lady said if she were to leave her husband, there are men lined up to take care of her and her daughter.
If I were to leave my husband, there are men lined up who are more than willing to take care of me and my daughter. But
are they the men that you want?
Yes.
Time out, because listen, this is what women get confused. There's a lot of fucking simps who will do it.
Why they gotta be done?
Because they don't have many options. These are the guys that don't have an option, because that's the problem with the game is women feel like because there's always men lined up, they get the fucking delusion that they can have any guy. No, when given the option, you're gonna pick the better option. A woman with a kid is never the better option between a woman without one. I don't care what a man told you, it's about what he showed you. You can sit here and say, he told me this guy told me he want to pay my bills, he told me he want me to have his kid. We're gonna tell you anything to get what we want. So stop believing what he told you and start believing what he showed you. If he did not move you in and he's not paying your bills, who you dated doesn't matter. We will date you, yes. We will fuck around.
If I was
I'd be leery about any man wanting to be around me and my kid anyway. Like, you gotta be extra careful even on that aspect. Stay woke, ladies. This guy is cash apping himself while pretending to take a selfie of this girl. They gotta stay woke out here.
I do. Did you supposed to pay for the first? Nah, man, it's flat. I don't even want this, man. I'm gonna put it back. You supposed to pay for it? No, I ain't supposed to pay for it first. I gotta taste this, man. This stuff be outdated. I gotta taste it. Yeah, that's bad, bro. Nah, you gotta pay for it, man. No, brother, don't do that, brother. Don't do that. No, bro. Look what he did. Brother, don't do that. Don't do that, brother. Don't do that. Don't do that, brother. Don't do that. Now you gotta pay for it. Don't do that, brother. What you mean? Man, it was flat. Why would I pay for something that's flat? Come on, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Come to America to sell people flat shit. Don't do that, man. That's fucked up.
Listen, I'm with him. I feel like we should be tasting everything we drinking and eating. Even, I was just telling my husband the other day, we should be able to open up the laundry detergent and fill it to the brim, because that stuff don't even be filled all the way up. Like, this gotta be right. I'm with this guy, for real.
Yo, like, no funny shit. These New York niggas is trash. Don't fuck with these niggas. Horrible. Stay the fuck away from us, then, Missy Elliott.
Now he called her Missy Elliott.
The sexless vacation blows, so eat in.
Well, reach out. I'm Babs.
And I'm Ron, and we run Head and Breakfast.
The first ever sex-positive bed and breakfast.
Oh, you're so good.
We'll make you a nice home-cooked meal. Plan your winery outings and make sure you're pleased sexually.
A lot of people are afraid to get intimate on their stay, knowing that there's a sweet elderly couple in the other room. But Ron and I encourage intimacy here.
I can make a mean breakfast. And Babs here can give some mean head.
I sure can. We have a combined 121 years of sexual experience. You see how precious that whale came out? We offer a smattering of amenities. Special delivery, including turn-down service with a twist.
And a rotating activities calendar that keeps our guests' toes curling.
You're allergic to chocolate, right?
Yeah.
We cover our couch with plastic
Fuck you.
for obvious reasons. Spills, sweat stains, skid marks.
Oh, yes, my queen. Punish me.
Now I'm a little pain.
Yeah, you are. You're so gross. Oh, you should come join me.
Oh, yes, cover me in cream.
Yes.
What a good boy. Follow your bliss.
We're a little out of the way, but every vacation has a happy ending.
Because we'll suck you off.
I don't know if this is real, y'all, but I promise you, it could be.
Alright, so here's how much it costs to live in Bali as an American who's been here for about 2 years. And just for reference, $100 is equal to 1.5 million Indonesian rupiah, so your money goes a long way. First up, we have rent. For the past few months, I've spent about $500 a month, and that includes everything from utilities, housekeeping, maid service, all that shit, so you have nothing else to worry about. Next up, we have food. And while I am on a very strict diet, I still eat out for every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and still some way I've only managed to spend $450 this month, and I eat out a lot. Next up, we have transportation, and recently I did purchase my own bike, but when I was renting one, it would cost me about $90 a month, and then I would spend maybe an extra, I'd say $40 to $50 a month whenever I needed to go long distances, and I just decided to hire a driver. Next up, we have what I like to call my fun shit category, and this is activities like kayaking, going on yachts and shit like that, going to pottery classes, riding ATVs, beach clubs, all that shit. And I'll spend about $200 because stuff in Bali is pretty cheap and there's a lot of free shit to do. And finally, we have my miscellaneous expenses like my training at the gym, going to get dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, any work that I have to do like recording and shit like that, visa runs, flights and all that good shit. And for this, I'd say I spend on average about $300 every single month. So over the past few months, I've averaged spending about $1,600 every single month living in Bali. So if you're planning on coming here, this is pretty much what you can expect.
Would y'all try it? The driving is horrible in Bali, though. This was bad. So this guy was beating on this dude's door and they literally got in a shootout. But why did his mama come out there in her robe and then she ended up getting shot in the leg, y'all? Mama, it was not bulletproof.
Okay, so I just got my hair done. I literally just finished. And my aunt was doing them. And mind y'all, I'm African, right? So I had her do the Alicia Keys braids because girls in my city was trying to charge $350 and I was not gonna pay that. So she did them and I showed her the video. She did pretty good. They're just a little smaller than I wanted, but that's my fault because I told her to make her small. So she added hair to the ends, to make my braids long. So y'all, I'm looking at them. Let's just I don't know if I'm overreacting, my head is pounding, but it's just the thought of I can fix this, but it's just the thought of, does it look as bad as I think it does? Somebody please tell me it does not look that bad. Somebody tell me oh girl, you're overreacting, please. Okay, so I just got my...
It really ain't no saving that unless she's just planning on wearing that around the town, not to any special occasions. That was a bad hairstyle, y'all. Let me see what else I got. Let's see what else is going on, y'all. Let's see. Nick Cannon was hanging with some more of his kids, and he hinted at baby 13. People were saying 50 Cent is on Ozempic. He definitely slimmed down. It might be some Ozempicness going on. These girls with these overbites or open bites, it's amazing.
I got an overbite. Of course people gonna stare when I talk. I got an overbite. Of course I get tongue twisted when I talk. I got an overbite. Of course all my words end with I got an overbite. Of course I can't bite down on everything. I got an overbite. Of course I don't like saying cheese. I got an overbite. Of course sometimes I spit when I talk. We got open bites. Of course we need braces.
The way they were just so proud of their little... I can't tell if they was calling them open bites or over bites or what, but they were proud of their little stuff. Let's see what else we got, y'all. The news is slow, which is a good thing. Nothing too crazy happened since the last time I talked to y'all, which is a good thing. Alright, let's see what else we got here, y'all.
And it was spread to them. We don't make it rain on booty cheeks. We don't make it rain on strippers. We only reverence one stripper. And that's the one that took off glory to put on humanity and then get butt naked on a cross to die for both you and me. The only stripper I'm in love with is Jesus. From heaven.
I can't. I mean, there's no words for that. Somebody said, what type of blasphemy is this? Y'all think it's funny to keep mocking God? I can't believe he said Jesus was a stripper. To reduce Christ to this is strange. He stripped of a sin. I get it, but the content was trash. We are doomed. This is what I mean too by the churches y'all be going to, because why was people even clapping for that? That was crazy. That was crazy. Let's see what else we got going on, y'all. 225 North Carolina teachers must pay back more than $280,000 to a school district after accidentally receiving bonuses. Well, they might have needed it, y'all. Measles has returned to Georgia for the first time since 2020. I think that comes from people not vaccinating their kids. Biden is supposed to be forgiving some more student debt. Madonna sued for starting her concert 2 hours later than advertised. People did not like that, Madonna. Another teacher in trouble for abusing minors. These teachers are just getting out of control. Louis Vuitton drops a sandwich bag priced at $3,000. So if you want a lunch bag for your sandwich or whatever, they have it on there for $2K. Let's get into these Reddits, y'all. I haven't read Reddits in a while. Alright, let's see here. People who quit without notice. What was the straw that broke your camel's back? I've only done this once, and that was when I worked at a pizza place. It was like, I was 16 years old. It was snowing, so everybody orders pizza when it was snowing, and it was so many orders. Like, our order ticket thing was so long that it started to pile up on the floor how many orders we got in. And I just said to myself, I'm too young to be this stressed out. Like, I didn't need the job. It was just a job for extra money. My mom was super mad that I quit, but I just didn't care. I was too young to be stressed out like that. And then I do not regret it. Besides dealing with my mom, I don't regret it at all. Because yeah, I was too young for that kind of stress in my life. Somebody said, my dad died right before Christmas. I was already scheduled for a week off for family travel, and HR said I could add 3 more days for funeral services so we could have it after the holidays. I came back and received a call from HR. The woman apologized and said she needed to ask, but would it make it brief? She asked if my dad actually died. I told her yes. She apologized again and said she didn't need anything else. Then the office manager called me into the office to tell me my boss had been telling people she thought I was faking it to get more time off. My boss was horrible in general and relied on me to do majority of her work, which is what led to her creating the story about my dad. So, did you quit? That to me is something that you could sue about. When I complained about being on call 24/7 and not being paid for it, and they had me in HR discussing my performance, I walked out 2 weeks before Christmas. Verbal abuse from my boss. Sales jobs. Oh, yeah. Sales jobs could be a nightmare too, man. I love the luxury of having a job that you don't really need and you can just be like, skip it, I'm done. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot, but I do miss the days when I could just bounce on a job. Was free when you were a kid and costs money now. Extra condiments. Condiments used to be always free, and all of a sudden they're not. Somebody said I'm trying to see what the heck it said. Never came up. Okay. Checking a bag on a plane. Yeah, that used to be free. That's sad. Driver's ed. Yes, they took it out. Wonder why. See, that is something to think about. Why did they do that? To make more money? The dump. Yeah, you used to could throw things away for free. Charge you now, which is crazy, but they care so much about the environment. Free coffee. Most car dealerships still have it for free. Air for your tires. Yeah, you used to didn't have to pay for that. Somebody said I didn't pay for anything as a kid, so everything. Toilets, dang, you gotta pay for the toilet. Yeah, water. A simple cup of water will cost you so much. It's crazy. What gadget do you have that's worth less than $150, but you couldn't live without it? It's a lot of gadgets. Probably most of my cleaning supplies. And my Chromecast streaming devices. I think, yeah, I need those. Noise canceling headphones, love those. Dehumidifier, a drill, glucose monitor. Those little calorie trackers, tools. Yeah, it's too many things to name. What's the dumbest way you have ever hurt yourself? I'm so clumsy that I'd be all day telling this story. So I'll tell one. When I was in the military, I was like washing myself in the shower, and I put my foot up on the soap dish, and the soap dish broke and cut the bottom of my foot. So yeah, that was crazy. When I was a kid, I got the idea I could open a metal mailbox with my teeth while riding on my bicycle. Yeah. I used to dog sit and got smart idea to tie the leash to my belt loop while I was rollerblading. The dog went around a mailbox on the other side, ripping my pants apart and throwing me onto the ground. I punched myself in the balls, putting on my sock. Dang. Tripped over a parking bumper in the parking lot of my elementary school in second grade. Sprained my wrist, went home later and broke my wrist after tripping in the yard over a stepping stone. Dang. Pepper sprayed myself to see what it felt like. Punched myself in the face while tearing package tape off of a box. Hate that. Married my second wife in spite of the red flags. Was breaking down a large cardboard box, flipping it around, and gave myself a paper cut. I hate paper cuts. They are the worst. Shockingly, everything's been quiet in the Reddits. I mean, there's some crazy things, but I'm steering away from them. Let's get into these story times, because I had like a ton of them, and I've been going crazy. So, let's get into it. First, let's take a break and look at this cute little bunny eating berries. How cute is that, y'all?
Video today shows Texas installing even more fencing and razor wire inside Shelby Park, defying the Biden administration's deadline to reopen the property to the feds. Fox cameras captured this moment when the Texas National Guard told migrants approaching the razor wire barricade to turn around to Mexico. The United States government is suing Texas, arguing its agents need access to this 2.5-mile stretch of land around Shelby Park, especially during emergencies. Texas DPS tells Fox News that Texas kicked the feds out from this park because it thinks it can do a better job deterring migrants, claiming the Biden administration removes the state's razor wire and doesn't care about securing the border.
It's not normal. It's not humane for anyone to cross a river, including children. It really shows how the federal government is attacking Texas for trying to prevent that, because what they want to do, they want to keep the border open.
Also, a major change in procedure. Texas is now arresting migrants illegally crossing into the U.S., which Governor Abbott implemented under his emergency declaration. Video today.
It's getting crazy down there. I mean, I really don't fault Texas, because the federal government is just not doing enough for this, but you just hate to see innocent women and children dying as well.
When When it comes to the conversation about decentering men, I feel like it needs to be different for women who have never been anyone's preference. I talk about this a lot on my account, but I'm just thinking about it as somebody who has done a lot of work to decenter men and romantic relationships. And I feel like the hardest part about doing it for me was contending with the fact that taking romantic relationships off a pedestal do not lower my chances of finding a romantic relationship. If you are a black woman who feels like you've never been anyone's first choice, maybe you're the girl that everyone made fun of in school when someone would say, oh, like she has a crush on you, and they were like, ugh. Turns out that actually affects you and your personality and the way that you look at love and romantic relationships. You're welcome. I think the lack of dating experience in your formative years and as an early, young adult can directly cause you to fall into the hopeless romantic category in your mid to late 20s and up, which directly feeds into the pipeline of over-romanticizing strangers, limerence, and essentially waiting for love to happen to you. So decentering men in relationships can be really hard because in a way, those things were never actually at the center of your universe because they weren't accessible to you, or you felt they weren't accessible to you. So really, it was more of a distant fantasy than it was the center of your thinking. So how should a woman who feels like she's never been anyone's first choice go about decentering romantic relationships? Seems counterintuitive, but the first step is for you to actually digest, understand, and accept that you are worthy and capable of having a romantic relationship. When something doesn't seem so far out of your reach, it's easier to stop romanticizing it and fantasizing about it, because love is real life and it can happen to you. I think I did a good job at explaining that. When it comes to the conversation about decentering,
I do like that, and I think it goes for everybody. We should never over-romanticize people because people, life is not a fairy tale. I mean, of course, love is great and all that, but that person is not going to always be that fairy tale type person. Your marriage is not going to be some beautiful, marriage is a lot of work, relationships are a lot of work, you're a lot of work. So if you haven't even done that part, yeah.
Let me tell you about how I found out the leasing agent was stalking me. Yeah, stalking me. Okay, we're going to name him Mike. Shit, his name is Mike. Okay, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of background information. Okay, so in my apartment complex, I don't go to any resident events. I don't like doing any holiday event, Secret Santa, and door decorations. I don't do none of that. I don't talk to nobody. When I see people walking in the hallway, a lot of them, I will walk past my damn door. And once they gone, I'll turn around and go inside my damn apartment. I do shit like that. Is that weird? Probably is. I don't know. I don't know any of them employees except of the assistant manager because he's the only one that's been there for a while. Everybody else, they come and go, baby. They can't keep staff. They can't keep no staff. And then I just been cool with him since I first moved here. Okay. So no one should know my name. No one should know my name at all except him. Or my apartment number, none of that. Keep that in mind. Because I don't talk to nobody. I don't hang around. I don't go to the leasing office unless I'm picking up a package that wasn't delivered inside the parcel mailbox or the regular mailbox. Keep all that in mind. Okay, one day I'm leaving the first floor's gym. And I see the assistant manager. So we start talking, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, woo-de-woo-de-woo, shit like that, like a little minute. As we're talking, some guy walks up, dressed like he going to prom. And so he says, what's up, to the assistant manager, and he turns to me and said, oh, hey, how you doing? And I said, hey. And I stopped the conversation I was having with the assistant manager, and I left. So I'm assuming he works here. Okay. Whatever. Well, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I get a call. So I don't answer numbers I don't know. If your number not saved, it's not getting answered. I'm like, hey, this is whoop-de-whoop. Me, obviously. And he was like, oh, hey, this is Mike. And I'm like, okay. I don't know who the hell Mike is. I don't know nobody's name except the assistant manager. So I'm like, okay. And he was like, from earlier, I spoke to you earlier. I said, he said, well, when you were talking to the assistant manager, I walked up and said, hey, how are you doing? I said, okay, because why are you telling me who you are? I don't care. What you gotta tell me? What are you calling me for? Because I'm thinking this is apartment related, professionally related. So I'm like, okay. He was like, do you have time to talk? So he said that. I'm thinking that's weird. Why would you actually have time to talk? Bitch, I obviously called you back. So obviously you can tell me what you need to tell me about the apartment.
that can happen, unfortunately, but it looks like he needs to be fired.
You need to have water, you need to have a radio on batteries, and you need to have a flashlight on batteries to make sure that you can survive the first 36 hours. Things like that. That's simple things. But it starts there. The realization that not everything is plannable, not everything is going to be honky-dory in the next 20 years. I'm not saying it is going wrong tomorrow, but we have to realize it's not a given that we are in peace. And that's why we have the plans. That's why we are preparing for a conflict with Russia and the terror groups, if it comes to it, if they attack us. We're not seeking any conflict. But if they attack us, we have to be ready. You need to have...
So, I met a man in 2020. He was a good man. I love that man. He was totally my type, everything that I was looking for in a partner. So when we met, things were going good, and I'd say we got to about the third date before he ghosted me for like a whole week. He then hits me up, and he's like, hey, I am so sorry. I've had a lot going on. I really want you to come over to my house. I want to make this up to you. I want to go out. Just come over. So, of course I go, because this is the man of my dreams, and I know he's not just gonna do me wrong. Life is busy, of course. So I get to his home. This man's entire face is wrapped up. I'm talking about, like, from here to here, there's tape all around. I'm like, what happened to you? He's like, oh, I had surgery on my sinuses. And, he's like, I'm not feeling well. I was like, okay, then why the hell you called me over? So, anyways, I'm like, okay, like, do you need me to do anything? He's like, well, I need you to open the door. My friend is here. His friend comes in. Mind you, y'all, there's nothing wrong with the friend. He's, like, really nice, really respectful. Like, he was over there checking on him because he had just had surgery. We're all three there, chitter-chattering very awkwardly because his friend's like, I don't know this girl. I'm like, I don't know him. But anyways, he's like, hey, Stace, would you mind going in the kitchen and fixing us some burgers? And let me tell you something. Who don't cook his meat? I was like, burgers? And on top of that, I'm in all white. I ain't come over here to do no damn cooking. So I'm like, no, I can't cook no burger. He was like, well, do you mind boiling me an egg? At this point, I'm like, oh, okay, let me boil this egg so I can go. So I'm like, okay, I'll boil you an egg. So I get on Google and see how long to boil a damn egg for. So I go in the kitchen. This is the most complicated damn stove I've ever operated in my life. And I'm like, I'm having a little trouble. So his friend comes in there and helps me turn on the stove. All while he's sitting over here wrapped up looking at me like... So the eggs have boiled, and I give him the eggs, and his friend was like, oh, I'm getting ready to go. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to go with you, homeboy. And he's like, Stacey, would you mind staying? I'm like, okay, because again, I'm not trying to show out in front of this man company. His friend leaves. He's like, what type of woman don't know how to cook a burger? You embarrassed me. I was like, hey, homeboy, I didn't know I was coming over here to cook a meal because I could have ordered something. Like, I'm real good at ordering. He was like, I am extremely embarrassed. I'm like, okay, this is getting a little intense. I'm about to go. Like, I'm leaving. I don't have time for this. I'm gone. And at this point, he stands up. He's like, no, I demand you to stay. I can tell you never dated an alpha male. You don't know how to treat an alpha male. I was like, all right, okay, cool, bye. I'll own it. Y'all, this man's face is bleeding profusely. There is, like, blood just running down his face, on his shirt. And I'm like, I'm like, hey. He's like, shut up. I'm like, all right, you gonna campaign for the Lord to come get you? Who am I to deny you the election? So at this point, he faints and he falls back into like a little chair. Like, I think he was being dramatic, but whatever. So he falls back and I'm like, I'm not going to touch him because, again, I'm in white. And this was a beautiful white dress. I'm not about to mess up no white dress for somebody who disrespected me. In high-intensity situations, I find myself like I have a delayed reaction to everything. So I'm just standing there waiting for him to come to. When this dude comes to, he was like, would you mind running to Chipotle for me? I'm starving. I was like, okay, I'll go to Chipotle for you. He gives me his debit card, and I go to my car, and I'm like, you know what? I was disrespected. So I put the debit card on top of his mailbox. I backed out of the driveway. I left, and I was back over there 2 weeks later. Yep, sure in the hell was. Found out he was polygamous, but that's how that story ends. So I met a man in 2020.
Girl, I'm speechless.
5 things a woman shouldn't have to do when married, dating, or in a relationship. Number 1, pump her own gas. If you and your girlfriend stop at a gas station and she gets out the car to pump her own gas and you sitting in the passenger seat looking like a whole goofy, you will suck it. Number 2, taking out her own garbage. If you spend the night at your girl house and you wake up in the morning and you notice the garbage is full, take the initiative and take the garbage out and send her a text and say, baby, I took the garbage out for you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And that's just going to make her a whole day. She's going to be thinking about you the whole day. Or if you live with your woman in the house, your wife should not be wheeling garbage cans to the street. That's your job to do that the night before. Number 3, worrying about maintenance on her vehicle. Now, it depends on how much driving she's doing. If she's not doing that much driving and she brings something to your attention, get it rectified right away. But if you know she travels for work or she do any kind of ride sharing or something like that, or she just have to go to multiple locations for work, you should be doing weekly inspections on that car every week to make sure the fluids and everything is running well. Number 4, opening car doors. When a woman is with me, I'm going to open up her car door, grab her hand, especially if she got heels on and it's nasty outside and it's winter time. You don't want your date slipping and falling and she spraying her knee or whatever because she fell because she had heels on. And that's just going to ruin the whole day. It's going to ruin the whole night. Then you have to potentially go in the hospital and getting something treated because you didn't want to open her car door. And then if y'all leaving a restaurant or whatever, you want to open up the car door, make sure she get in so she's nice and safe and secure, and close the door behind her so she's in safe. I know they say chivalry is dead, but at the end of the day, it's all about, being a gentleman. Number 5, cutting grass and shoveling snow. Your woman should not have to touch a snow blower, a lawnmower, a leaf blower, or any kind of shovel. The only time she need to be in the yard is if she planting flowers or fruits or whatever like that. That's the only time she need to be in the yard, but she don't need to be doing no kind of heavy work or manual labor. That's your job as a man to do that. Don't expect a girl that you're dating, your girlfriend, or your wife to be feminine if you have her doing masculine things. Free game.
I agree with 98% of what he said, but with the trash dumpsters, like if your husband works evenings, what you gonna let the whole dumpster blow down the street? Like you could wheel a dumpster back. That is actually one of my biggest pet peeves, that when women wait till their husband get home to do that. I hate trash, period, in my house, and I don't have no problem taking trash out. I hate trash that much that I can't let it pile up. I have like trash OCD, so like no, the trash thing, but everything else, I agree.
Imagine going bar hopping with your friend and then you wake up in the hospital with your parents standing over the bed saying that you've been roofied and have been in a coma for 8+ hours. Yeah. It's summer 2017. It's the end of the summer. Almost time to go back to school. Me and my friend that was in the previous story where I went to go be stranded with that nasty barbarian, my bestie. I worked at Target, the Target Cafe, Atlanta Highway, Athens, Georgia. I worked at the cafe, so that means you cook the popcorn, the pizza, the pasta, the hot dogs, the slushies, you mop, you clean. You could possibly be a mechanic. All of that. It took all night long to clean that cafe. But one thing about me, I was going to always make it out in time for the weekend. For that bar. She texted me before work. She said, you want to go out? I said, why would I not want to go out? She said, to the bars. Of course, we're in Athens. What else we got to do? I'm working my ass off at work. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get out of here in time because, cleaning that whole cafe and having somebody come through and do an inspection and having to get all the frozen stuff for the morning person, that took a lot. I'm getting my stuff done early. I'm like, yeah, I gotta be out of here by like 8:30 because I need to go home. And this is when I used to wear my throne, I think, or did I have my braided bob? Either way, I got out of there between 8:30, 9 o'clock. Get out of there, get in my car, call her. I'm like, what's the outfit? She let me know what's the vibe. I'm flying down to the house, get I'm not even lying. They stopped caring about what I was doing. So when people ask, well, girl, your parents didn't call, they used to call, but they used to call and ask me, like, safe, alive, and well. I said, yes, they hung up. They minded their business. Live your life, Bill. I get home, I text my mama, like, come in my room. She's like, no, come in here. I go in my mama's room. I told y'all my mama is down for the girls. She's one for the count. I come in there, she's like, yeah, what's tea? I'm not gonna go there. So she's like, oh, period, bitch. What you wearing? I'm like, what should I wear? She's a fashionista. She come in, she's like, wear this, that, and the third. Okay, I'm like, all right. Then I tell her, like, oh, mom, here you go again. You know, the ID from my sister. My sister, you know, her room on the side of the apartment or whatever that my mama room in them was on. So I'm like, you go across there, because if I go across there and then I leave out in like 45 minutes, my daddy gonna know. Like, my daddy gonna know that, you know, I done took Shawty ID, I done asked for something from her, and he gonna ask. And he was very strict. I could not take that. She like, shit, yeah, get in when you fit in. She take her ass close there. She go in my sister's room close enough. Ask for the ID. This is like the 72nd like weekend in a row. So she like, girl, whatever. And my sister like, yeah. Cause she want to stay at home. She get the ID. You know, she play it off. She staying out for like 10-15 minutes. But you know, they whispering in there, so my daddy can't hear. Cause my daddy, the couch is like right there with my sister's room at. So he watching the game. He's trying to turn the volume down. Trying to hear what the fuck she's saying. Like, you know, he always motherfucking ear hustle. She come out like 10-15 minutes later. I'm trying to play it out like I'm standing in my room like really over there by the corner like, what's going on? She come in there. She come around the corner. Mom. She talking to me about something else. Hand me the ID. She's like, bitch, have a good night. Bitch, tell me about the niggas. Tell me about the time. You look cute. What's tea? Tell me about your friend. What's, you know, how y'all having fun? You know, because this was the usual for us, baby. We in Athens, Georgia. Ain't nothing else to do but go out and get drunk. 45 minutes pass, I leave out. I always wait till my daddy eyes is getting a little low while he watching the game, so I can slide out of there. When you got a strict parent, even if they have became lenient, never ever give them a reason where they can stop you. So I'm like, wait till my eyes get low when he watching the game and slide around the corner. And once you slide around that corner, you're good. Because if he hear even a tick of the lock, he's gonna think somebody's coming in. Really, I'm leaving, bitch. Ran out of there, friend outside, jump in the car. I'm like, yeah, bitch, we finna be lit. She's like, got a fireball pre-shots. We ride downtown, we park. We start taking the fireball pre-shots. Having a ball. You know, the fireball gets you good and lit. Not lit like drunk off your ass, but like tipsy. So, the perfect combination. We take the shots, get out the car, we feeling ourselves. We got our different niggas. You know, like, not the same ones that I had when I was stranded with that barbarian and the FIFA phone Nars Fingers monster, but different ones. You know, always keep a couple hundred in the Duffy, couple wet wipes, kiss above trying to touch you. Ew, always keeping them niggas. Keep a couple of them niggas at that. We get out, go to our first bar. We get our usual. We get the what is it? The whiskey sours, buttery nipple, Long Island iced tea, blue motherfuckers. That was like our usual four, our big four. That was our big four right there. We got one of those four. Took that or whatever. We still cool. We straight. We like, okay, they popped off yet. Because, you know, you got to get good and tipsy before the real niggas start stepping out. Because, you know, the athletes is on campus before. You know, this is summertime. So all the people ain't there yet. So the athletes. So we like, yeah, this is your really time to get your in. Like, have fun before you go back to school. Or whatever. Yeah. We have our drink. We walking around, so we go to another bar. We have another drink. Still good. Still just tipsy, not drunk, nothing like that. Very extremely coherent at that. While we walking to another bar, we see two guys we knew from high school. We see them. They're like, what's up? We like, yeah, acting super small. So we like, oh my God, what's up, T? What's T? They're like, we home for the summer. We just wanted to come down here and yada. We like, yeah, we come down here every weekend during the summer because we trying to see what's T. We trying to get in what we fit in, and then we go off to school. They're like, oh, y'all want to go to this bar, have a drink, yada. We go in there, have a drink. They buy the drink, cool as shit. Always been cool as shit. We had a drink. And then, while we across the street, they're like, oh, y'all want to go over there? We like, oh, yeah, me and her, like, shit, we always go over there. And it usually be lit as fuck. We go across the street, go up to the rooftop, because the rooftop be lit. We get up there, and it's not as packed as usual, but it's early in the night. So we like, okay, they're like, y'all want to get a drink or whatever, you know, while we, you know, kind of scope the scene. We like, yeah, get a drink. Didn't even pay attention to the bartender, nothing like that. We have our drink, everything going good. The drink was delicious. I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah. They like, me and her, I think she got a text from somebody saying like, oh, like we over at so-and-so bar or something like that, or we on the way, we gonna be there in like 45 minutes. So she's like, y'all wanna go to another bar till they get here? Because that was the bar that they usually went to. We go to another bar. I don't think we had a drink or anything like that, because they was like, well, let's just wait till we go back to the bar we just came from, the rooftop bar, to have a drink, to have our, you know, our next drink. We get over to the next bar. By the time you get over there, you know, it's been like probably 27, 30, 35 minutes.
The dude finally texts back and like, hey, we finna head over to so-and-so bar. So we wait like 10 minutes, head back over to the rooftop. We get over to the rooftop, it's packed as shit. Like, the foreign niggas is there. Like, niggas there. She on the phone. Like, we got like, it wasn't none of my dudes saying it's her dudes. Like, shout out to her, bitch. I love her. Love her damn. When we get there, it's so packed. Like, it's clusters of friend groups around the bar at the rooftop. That's regular. It's downtown Athens. Like, be for real. So the two dudes like, y'all want to get something to drink? We like, yeah. They're like, okay, just order the drinks and then we'll go pay for them. So me and her go to the bar. We fight our way through the powder donuts. We fight our way through the powder donuts. Get up there, order our drinks, and do like, oh, it's gonna be a second. So, you know, they walk up, they pay, then we walk off. We standing to the, like, close to the bar, but not all the way away. So we standing there talking, yada, yada, yada. The dude, we see somebody at the corner of our eye doing like this. So we look over, he like, the 2 drinks is ready. We like, okay, 1 second. Because when he was saying this, a fight or something was popping off to the side. I don't know if it was a fight, an argument, something was popping off. We look over there for a split second, 30 to 60 seconds to a minute, you know, whatever. And then she was like, bitch, let's get our drinks. So I'm like, yeah, we go and get our drinks. We grab them from whatever side we was on or whatever. I took 1 sip, and when I promise you, it's like the lights turn off. I don't remember. I wake up in the hospital with my parents standing over me saying that I on myself, that I was roofied, that I was in a coma, that they had to use literally put ammonia up my nose over 10 times to make me wake up. They thought I was a no-goner. They thought I was dead to the fucking world. Like, literally. Not ready for the world, but dead to the world. Daddy crying with tears coming down his eyes. I ain't never seen him cry like that until my mama got diagnosed with cancer. My mama crying. I'm like, oh, girl, what's going on? I'm thinking, I just came from a lit-ass night. What are you talking about, bitch? We was just getting started. Child, my friend coming to the, I don't remember if she came to the hospital or not, but I know when I got home, though, bitch, my friend, you know, my Athens friends, they came into my house or whatever, and, you know, she was just like, girl, like, when you took 1 sip of the drink, you took 1 gulp of the drink, and we was headed down the stairs and we go by there, you literally, like, went blank, like, we could see you going blank, you was foaming out of the mouth. I got you out to the street, thought everything was good, because you came back too, and then as we were walking, and she said, as we were walking, I literally dropped and fell and like, and started foaming at the mouth like I was having a seizure. She said that the athlete niggas came by, the ones who was fooling with, or she was fooling with, whoever at the time, they came by and they was like, is she good or whatever? Yada yada yada. Had to call the people, the ambulance to come and stuff. She got on my phone, thank God for her. She called my parents on the phone. Girl, when they got there, the ambulance folks was like, how old is she? Shout out to my motherfucking daddy and my mama. My daddy was like, he looked at my mama and said, she is 21. Girl, she snatched my sister ID out of my phone holder. That's when phone holders was real big. She snatched my sister ID out of the phone holder so fast. Girl! Child, and I cannot believe days after that, literally 1 day after that, I encountered Funky Boots, like the nasty.
This little girl, she gonna get roofied again, because pray for this little girl, y'all. That was a crazy story, but she seemed like she got a lot of them. And she's still laughing about this. Like, I would be traumatized if I was roofied, but that's just me. I have a lot more of these, and I will be back tomorrow. These people can stop telling all their business, and we can't stop listening. The earth is ghetto. We'll be back.